What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Unicorn Princess. For this month, you'll be gaming with Echo, and instead of, if you followed along on the channel, we were supposed to try out Revenge of the Savage Planet for this month, but turned out to be a big bummer. So instead, as I mentioned in the previous video, I said I would check out a game called The Altars. A sci-fi esque kind of exploration, base building, resource management type game with a little twist. I've been playing along in the prologue and checking out, the core mechanics of the game, and so far, this game is a really interesting one. I'll give you the brief story. You are Jan Dolsky, a miner builder type fella that crash lands after taking a mining job with the corporation, and you crash land on a planet. Your entire crew is unfortunately deceased upon crashing. You survive and you find this base. The mission is to find an element called rupidium, which is supposedly some wonder material that is supposedly being searched for to help produce crops and stuff like that for Earth. You can grow things in an instant. And lo and behold, as all space games go, since you crashed, there's always peril, you're always in danger. And on this planet, you have to outrun the sun in this mobile base that you're currently seeing. This base is, of course,
What a week, huh?
this base is, of course, you can build it and you can move, the compartments around, and you have to build it, and you have to keep in mind, how big the base is, how heavy it is, how fast it's moving. You have to do repairs, you have to, manage resources. And you are also in connection with, through the communication room, you're in connection with people from the STC, or the big corporation. And upon arrival in the prologue, you get to learn the ropes, basic survival, and they tell you to build the womb. And inside the womb, let me show you. Inside the womb, they provide you with some DNA, and your first experience is Dolly the sheep.
Never thought I'd be so glad to see a sheep.
And if you pay close attention, on the back of Jan Dolsky's jacket, you can see it says Project Dolly. Dolly, of course, being a reference to the sheep that was cloned in, I think it was England back in the 90s, and Dolly's was a sheep, so here we are. You play as this little fella, Jan Dolsky, and after a while the base breaks down, and you also have to play around with rupidium, and you can make copies of yourself. The copies are being based off of, hang on, here's the quantum computer, and inside the quantum computer you have your whole life story, basically. And the life story of Jan Dolsky is a really sad one. His home history, his father is a drunk, and he takes out his aggression on Jan's mother, and Jan is really depressed and feels really bad and everything, and he needs to escape, and then he tries to go to school and doesn't really pan out. He works shitty jobs and everything. And at the end, at age 35, he will then, as a last resort, he will jump on this space mission. But through a thing called branching, you can see here, instead, in this case, Jan's base story is he takes the longer route home, and he happens upon a fight. There's two dudes fighting up on, beating up a woman, robbing her or whatever, and he chickens out. But you can then instead, you can branch out from here. So for example, you can make a doctor, and that changes his past, if you will. And in order to make altars, you have to switch what happened in Jan's life story. There is a whole bunch of places that you can do these branches. For example, here, that would create a doctor, and that would move into a shrink. I've already made the technician, which is when life is really hard for Jan. He stands at the crossroads going like, should I leave my shitty family and go try my luck on my own? And that is what he does, and then he goes away. But if you branch out and you decide to stay behind and stand up to your father, that creates a technician, and that is what I've done. And I see here that I can branch out even further to become a miner. I can also branch out here to become a refiner, whatever that is. Can branch out here, become a scientist. Here, a guard. Botanist seems smart for growing crops. So basically, you alter your life history, and that branches out. So instead of, we all look back on our life and wish, I should have done that different. What could the outcome have become? And in this game, you actually get to find out. It's a really cool premise for the game. I'm really, really intrigued by what's happening. Haven't really played much yet, but here you have the build mode. So you can expand the base to make it bigger, so you can fit more modules. Or you can just build different modules, like research labs and workshops and greenhouses and, all the little stuff. Building stuff takes resources. So for this example, you can see the resources down at the bottom. And to build a social room, you will need 40 pieces of metal and 30 pieces of minerals. And I don't have minerals. I haven't found that yet, but I know how to find metal. It's found outside. You can also relocate stuff. I can move the kitchen from here down to wherever. So it's basically a management game. Down in your left, you get to see, where you see the time and everything. That is your energy meter. So you have to manage your energy as well. And every now and then you have to step outside on the planet's surface and explore. And right now we are looking for resources. The traversal is somewhat basic. You cannot jump. You can sprint, and you can climb, and you can also craft a grappling hook to climb even further. This is the map, so this is a potential way out. This is a potential way out. And you can also have a look at how your altars are doing. It looks like he's feeling okay. And if you don't manage your altar's social well-being, they can lash out and, basically go berserk and, start a rebellion and start to become violent. And I think they can even attack each other and start killing off other people Or so I'm told. But, oh well. I'm going to explore the planet and try to find resources, and I will check back when I have something more. Branching out, researching, making another altar. Making a scientist to research methods, new technologies, and all of that. So let's check out. Okay. Research comes first. You give Lena away, blah blah blah. It's gonna be fine. It's only a few months. You love the way you two can give each other space. Okay. And then you drift apart. Of course, you focus on your work. Forgot about Lena, of course. Then you make a breakthrough. How about enlarging the team, getting an office maybe, new set of clothes. You focus in. You really need the success is just around the corner. Is that you? Oh, so you broke up? And then you sign on for Ally Corps. And then you're getting on board. Your tech is well tested, maybe it's not being used properly. You heard rumors that in the race for success, Ally Corps, blah 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 blah. And then you go to Project Dolly. Okay. Botanist. I could use a botanist. Miner. Refiner. I haven't started refining yet. Got a technician already. Cooks food faster. I need a higher qubit level for that. Finalize previous. Alright. So then we need to head up to. There we go. Hello, Dolly.
Is it me, or does it sound a bit artificial?
There you go, Dolly. Bah! Progress 4%, time remaining. So we are growing ourselves a scientist. Should be fun. There you are, Jan the technician. Oh, I can't speak to you. Okay. Let's do some work in the greenhouse because we need better food. A new altar is ready. Will I be able to finish the work? There you go.
I noticed we're missing a few rad filters.
Is that so? Well, of course we are. Let's meet the new altar. The scientist.
Hey, how are you feeling?
He's number 5. The numbers doesn't make
Oh.
sense.
I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing.
Seems logical and rational.
Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am.
Of course.
So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? You bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. Well,
Of course. If you wear glasses,
They're
you're
fake.
smart.
Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You.
Of course,
And
me.
to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium.
Oh, indeed
Besides,
we have.
I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base.
Don't blame
Correct me if
Dolly.
I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. It's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not.
The concept
I
of this
needed a
game is
scientist on
actually
board.
really, really interesting.
But there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew.
The whole,
is
you have to
gone.
make your own crew as alters over
That's
yourself.
why I needed to alter myself into
Super
different
interesting sci-fi twist to the
versions.
whole, you know,
With
management,
the
base
use of
building,
the
survival-ish,
quantum computer
exploration
on
type
board.
game.
And something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel.
Indeed.
That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now?
I need you to research. Should he get some rest first? Yeah.
Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately?
Because it's late.
Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose.
Well, indeed there's not.
All right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts
Go
exactly.
ahead.
Good. This might work.
He's kind of obtuse. So, assignments, research lab, scientist, there you go. He's out grinding for metal. I will put him on base maintenance after a while because that's where he shines. But my dude is tired, so not the research lab. Captain's cabin. I should have taken the call, but well. Day 16 and the sun is still far away. Is injured. Oh no. technician. I couldn't sleep. The dormitory was filled with disgusting smoke. Ah, one of your modules deteriorate. That's not good. Meaning we need repair kits. Remove. Let's make some repair kits.
I noticed we're missing a few rat filters.
Indeed we are. Don't worry. I'll make some. Greenhouse failure. Magnetic storm.
Shit. What the hell was that? Damn it. We don't have enough radiation filters.
Jan, we're dangerously low on repair kits.
Don't worry.
Command room's down. What next?
Damn it. So, oh shit. I'm not gonna be able to repair it in time. Shit sticks. Emergency in the base. Well, let's go to sleep. So, I'm gonna have to handle this. Sun is getting closer. Okay. New resources appeared. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna have to make sure to fix everything.
Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing.
Yep, I'll come see you, don't worry.
It's over. We made it.
So I'm gonna have to run around and fix the base and everything. Well, my first game playthrough didn't go so well. I made it to like day 24 and the sun kept approaching and the magnetic storms and all that kind of blew through my radiation filters. And me and my 2 altars perished. Oh well. I guess you live, you learn. I will get back to this game and try to reload a save and do some things differently. There's a whole lot of maintenance. You really need to stay on top of everything. It's challenging, really challenging. But it's also a lot of fun. It's a unique, at least to me, a unique and original twist to a sci-fi space exploration survival-ish type of game, and I really enjoy it. It's been a lot of fun. I will continue playing this for the rest of the month, and I'll probably upload at least 1 or 2 more videos of it, and we'll see what Oni has planned for the rest of this month. So stay tuned, stay safe.